So Elon Musk has some, I think, very realistic concerns about what will happen to the United States if Donald Trump does not win the election. Here he's talking to Tucker Carlson about that. Let's hear what he has to say.
I mean, my view is that if Trump doesn't win this election, it's the last election we're going to have. The Democrats, the Dem machine, has been importing so many people, bringing in so many illegals, flying in with this like CBP border app thing that nobody even knew about, like secret program. That's illegal, basically. It's illegal, but there's no action by DOJ to actually to stop it from happening. They're transporting large numbers of illegals to swing states. If you look at the numbers, these are the numbers from the government website. So, like from the Democrat-administered government websites. Like, where do you get this data? From the government website that is run by Democrats. There are triple-digit increases in illegals to all the swing states. And in some cases, it's like 700% over the last 3 years. Now, these swing state margins are, sometimes 10, 20,000 votes. So what happens if you put, hundreds of thousands of people into each swing state? And when somebody is granted asylum, they are fast-tracked. They can get a green card, and then 5 years after the green card, they can get citizenship and they can fully legally vote. And when they do so, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat.
And this is also obvious. It's all just so out in plain sight. You have to ask yourself, what is a alternate, plausible explanation for all of this, other than an attempt to create essentially a one-party state where you can have elections, but they won't mean anything.
And sometimes I get this rebuttal of like, well, a lot of them, their social values don't align with sort of the far left sort of woke ideology. Yeah. I said, that's true, but that's not their top priority. Their top priority is getting their friends and family also to the United States. And the Dems also issue all these programs, these sort of handouts, essentially, that make them beholden to the Democratic Party. So they vote Dem. That's what happens. So my prediction is if there's another 4 years of a Dem administration, they will legalize so many illegals that are there that the next election, there won't be any swing states. And we'll be a single party country, just like California is a single party state. It's a supermajority Dem state in California.
Because of immigration.
And by the way, Gavin Newsom just signed a law in California to ban voter ID requirements. That's across the state, and that's one of 14 states that doesn't require voter ID to vote. So things are even more messed up than what you just heard.
Yes. California was fairly reliably Republican.
Bill Clinton lost California in 92 and won West Virginia.
Yes. So there was a 1986 amnesty.
Yes.
Thereafter, California trended very strongly Dem, and is at this point, I think 65, 70% Dem, something like that. It's supermajority Dem. The California legislature is more than 2/3 Democrat.
Yeah, so when he says, it'll be the last election, he means like it'll be the last consequential election. The rest of the elections won't matter. Just one party state at that point. Why did the Biden administration throw out all of Trump's border measures, the remain in place order, all of that? Why did they throw it out? It clearly wasn't to secure the border. It was to de-secure the border, right? Their goal was to flood the United States with millions. It looks like it's a minimum 9 million, probably double that. I mean, they don't know how many exactly, but clearly the goal was to flood the United States with illegal immigrants. Clearly, I mean, there's nothing else that it could have been. There's nothing that he did that would have prevented people from crossing the border, going so far as to sue Texas to stop them from putting up border barriers to prevent people from crossing the border. So there's no question, like as Kamala said, they started working day one on the border, right? They did. They started working on day one to open it as wide as possible, to flood as many people into the United States as possible. And this is a theme we see across the Western world. This is something that we're familiar with in Canada. Canada now has the highest per capita immigration in the world. Talk to somebody from the UK, they'll tell you a very similar story. And clearly, the Biden-Harris regime's goal was to bring in as many people as possible. It is not possible that they could have been trying to do the opposite. Nobody could be that incompetent. Clearly, that was their goal. Kamala said they started working on day one, and they did. She was right. They did. And they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.